Champions League just ended. Real Madrid beats RB 1-0, right? And I want to talk to y'all about this for a second because I don't know if this is a me thing or a world thing or I don't know. But I sit here and I think to myself after watching this game, and the first thing I want to say is I know Real Madrid is beat up, but that's football. In football, teams sometimes take a lot of injuries. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way football goes. That's life. That's the sport we live in. Unfortunately, Real Madrid's been very unlucky to lose a ton of center backs. They're playing Chouamani at center back, which is an incredible player. But the point I'm trying to get to is this. I don't know if it's just me or a world thing, but I don't think we respect the Bundesliga enough. Because what I saw today in the Champions League was a German team push Real Madrid to the max. Really, really push Real Madrid to a point where I thought to myself, listen, RB could have got out of that game. And Real Madrid won lucky too. They hit the post and stuff. But Real Madrid, RB could have got out of that game with more, if I'm being honest with you. And you guys know for me, it's always Real Madrid. It's the team I like watching the most from Spain. It's the team I like watching the most outside of Portugal, right? But the truth is I saw RB push and push and push Real Madrid. If it wasn't for how great of a game Chouamani played and how amazing Valverde was in the second half, I could have really seen RB get out of that stadium with more than what they got today. And they might have been unlucky not to. Honestly, look, in the first half, in the beginning, I was like, that was not offside. I don't understand why they called the goal back for RB. I know a lot of y'all saw it, but then I looked at it and I understood that the player that was offside, got in the way of the goalie. It was barely interference, but interference is interference, bro. He got in the way of the goalie. Otherwise, RB could have taken an early lead. And I've praised Ancelotti so much this year for what he's done with all the injuries, but I just think that the Bundesliga is a fantastic, 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 fantastic league, and a lot of us don't give it enough credit. The things that Bayern's done over the years, we all know how great Bayern's been. What Bayer Leverkusen is doing right now in the Bundesliga, and then this. And then to see RB only lose 1-0 to Real Madrid. And when you look at the stats of the game, possession 50-50, shots 15-14, shots on target 9-3. This team pushed Real Madrid to the limit, lads. You got the same amount of passes. You got pass accuracy pretty much the same amount of fouls, pretty much the same amount of yellow cards. Leipzig, RB wins on corners. Offsides don't matter. But as you guys can see, this is a team that really, really competed toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. Now, obviously, the lineup you're looking at is not their best lineup. Real Madrid's missing Jude Bellingham. Real Madrid's missing center backs. Real Madrid's missing a lot. But at the end of the day, I think we do got to respect Bundesliga teams. I think there needs to be more respect on German teams because every year we see a German team do amazing in the Champions League. And once again, this was impressive. Do I think it's over? Yes. If I'm being fully honest with everybody, this is not me being biased. I don't think you can lose at home to Real Madrid and now have to go to Spain and win 2-0, right? I just think, listen, it's going to be hard. It's going to be extremely hard for any team to do that. So in my opinion, if they would have got out of there 1-1 or 1-0, then I would be like, there's a chance here. But in my opinion, I think this might be over now just because you're playing such a good team. Look, Real Madrid's barely lost this year. Let's just say what it is, right? But wow, what a game from the German monsters, man. They came out there and they really impressed. Xavi was sick to watch. They just played well, man. They played really, really good. I was very impressed. And again, maybe it's just a me thing, but I definitely got to put more respect on German teams. All right. I want to talk about the other game that happened, City versus Copenhagen. Shout out to Copenhagen because it was 2-1 at one point. They played pretty well. At the end of the day, I didn't really watch this game because I was watching Madrid, so I can't give an honest opinion on it. But based off of stats, you can see Man City did Man City type things. One thing I do want to touch on because I saw his goal. As we're talking about not putting enough respect on players and overlooking players, where do you rank Bernardo Silva? Because every time you look at Man City in an important game, in Champions League, in whatever, Bernardo Silva's doing something. Bernardo Silva was one of the most important players in the back end of City's Champions League win last year. This year again, cooking in the Champions League. Where do you rank this Portuguese guy? Because I'm Portuguese. He came from my team. He came from Benfica. So obviously I love this guy. He wants to end his career at Benfica. He talks about returning to Benfica all the time. I love him. I think he's an amazing player. So I'm not trying to like be the guy that's like, oh, he's top 10. No, I don't know where to put him. That's why I'm asking you guys in the comments. Please get involved. Where do you have him in top European players? Do you have him high? Do you have him low? Do you have him in the middle? Where do you have this guy? Where do you rank him right now in world football? Because I swear to y'all, every time I look at something City is doing, again, I didn't watch the game like that. I saw the highlights. Every time I look at him or look at City, Bernardo Silva's right there in an important game doing something. And you might not think Copenhagen is an important game, but it is an important game. It's a massively important game because you got to get by the round of 16. Whoever they put in front of you, got to get by it, right? You saw City had a tough game a few years ago. Maybe it was last year. No, it wasn't last year, was it? When they had a tough game against, was it Sporting or something? Listen, it happens, bro. Like, first legs of the round of 16 can be interesting. It's always interesting because, again, it's Champions League just kicks back on. Teams are dealing with injuries. Players are just coming back from the African Cup of Nations and the Asian, the Asian Cup. Like, a lot of stuff is happening, bro. A lot of players are moving around. There's a lot of movement, right? So it's always an interesting game, but this is an important game, and they won it. So at the end of the day, I just want to know where you guys have Bernardo Silva. I know where I rank Kevin De Bruyne. I know where he's at as midfielders. Where do you have Bernardo Silva? Because he's always doing something amazing. Do I think this one's over? Yeah, I think Copenhagen's going to have a really hard time beating City in England. 3-0, like, that's crazy. It's that one's probably over. But shout out to Copenhagen for an unbelievable Champions League. Obviously, they came out of a pretty tough group. They did their thing, so shout out to them. Moving on, we got PSG versus Real Sociedad. I'm going to be honest. I think this one's going to PSG. Kind of give my predictions real quick for y'all. I think PSG is going to beat Real Sociedad, and I don't think it's going to be easy, though. I don't think it's going to be easy because I want people to remember that these Spanish teams are no joke, bro. Teams like Real Sociedad, like, these teams are no joke in Champions League and in European competitions. You best believe, bro. You can act like it's an easy game. It's not. It's by far not an easy game. I think this is going to be a very, 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 very tough game. But I do think PSG is going to knock them off and be able to beat Real Sociedad. And then you have Bayern versus Lazio, where I think Bayern will get this one. I'm going to tell you why I think Bayern will get this one. And this is very important. Bayern is struggling in the Bundesliga. It's not that they're struggling. Let me say that. Let me rephrase that because they're not struggling. But Bayer Leverkusen's amazing, right? Bayer Leverkusen's doing great things, and right now Bayern's in a place where if they don't do well in the Champions League and Bayer Leverkusen keeps cooking like this, you're going to not really win much silverware. So, in my opinion, the Champions League is very important to Bayern right now, and I think they need to win this game against Lazio. So, in my opinion, just my opinion, I think that Bayern's going to come full strength against Lazio, knowing they have to get through this, knowing that the Champions League is very important to them, and they're going to probably a big result here for Bayern against Lazio. Sorry, Lazio fans, please don't get mad at me. PSG versus Dortmund. I think PSV versus Dortmund is going to be an amazing game. I think Dortmund will see this one through. Kind of give my quick reactions here to these games. Inter versus Atletico Madrid. I think this one and Barca versus Napoli are the games of the of this round, in my opinion. Maybe that's a stupid opinion, but I think Inter versus Atletico is going to be a very good defensive battle. If you like defensive football, I think that's going to be a very good one. But also, I think Atletico Madrid's been very good offensively this year. I think a lot of people have a hard time admitting that because usually Atletico Madrid is known for, just their defense. But at the end of the day, I think that they're scoring a lot of goals this year. They're playing good football, and Griezmann's been really good. Also, Inter, with the attackers, they have Martinez and stuff. Martinez has been good. It'll be an interesting game, and I think that's the one to really watch. I don't know who's going to go through here, guys. Honestly, I don't. I think the first leg will be a tie, and I don't know, man. I could see the second leg going to penalties or something. I honestly don't know who's going to win this game. Probably Atletico. I don't know. Inter went to a final. Let me go with Inter, bro. Let me go with Inter for this one, man. Porto versus Arsenal. Porto's in a bad place right now in the Portuguese league, man. They just came off of a bad loss as well yesterday. So I think that Arsenal's going to see this one through, in my opinion. And then Napoli versus Barcelona. I still believe in Xavi, man. I am still a Xavi believer. I think Barca will see out Napoli, and I think Barca will get the job done. I think Yamal will cook. And Yamal's registered for the Champions League, right? He could play? Yeah, he could play. He could play, right? They registered. Yeah, he could play. Barca. I think Barca beat Napoli here, man. So yeah, man. Champions League's an interesting one right now, lads. Like I said, I thought the Real Madrid game was going to be more lopsided than that. That was a shocker to me. I still think Madrid's going to go through here, but I just think that honestly, bro, me as a football fan, I need to give the Bundesliga more respect. I really got to give the Bundesliga more respect. What Bayer Leverkusen is doing in Germany right now, what Bayern's done over the years and how they've been able to, just be an amazing team in Europe. You know what I'm saying? And now what you see RB do against Real Madrid, even though, like I said, Real Madrid's beat up, but yo, it is what it is, man. You have what you have. You play what you can play. And RB did they thing. It's not their fault that Real Madrid has so many injuries. So in my opinion, man, I just am really, really impressed with the Bundesliga. I think that's really kind of what I really want to get off my chest in this one. And I just want to apologize to any German fan watches, any Bundesliga fan. I want to apologize. I am AA9 skills, and I would like to apologize for not respecting the Bundesliga more because it is such a good league, man. Such a good league. And when you see what they do, the teams go and play in the Champions League, the way they play in the Champions League, you got to respect it, man. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to today's games. Let me know in the comments down below where you rank Bernardo Silva, how you feel about the Bundesliga. You know what I'm saying? And who do you think is going to win between Barcelona and Napoli and Inter and AC Milan and Atletico Madrid? Those are big games, crazy games. I would love to know who you guys got. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.